Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel Mindful Manis and Chats. Today I'm going to be sharing a very exciting assortment of polishes because it is my favorite purples video. I have like lavenders, eggplants, like rich violets, just so much to share, and I feel like we should just get started. The first one I'll be sharing is probably one of the older purples I have in my collection because I think it really started my fascination with purple. It is ILNP Mila. This one is not a super popular ILNP shade because, as you know, they have hundreds and hundreds on their website, so people can only recommend and try out so many of them. But this is one of the first ones I tried, and it made me want to keep buying from ILNP because I thought the finish was so beautiful. It is their ultra metallic bright finish. This one specifically is a icy purple shade, and it also has these holographic pigments in it, and it's just very reflective. It is extremely similar to the Holo Taco frosted metal formula, but these flakes that they have are way smaller. However, they are just as reflective as those frosted metals. Speaking of Holo Taco, the next one on my list is Holo Taco's Tanzanite Away. This one came out in October of 2024 with their birthstone collection, which I loved the idea, concept, execution of. So these birthstones were amazing, especially this is inspired of course by Tanzanite. This one is like a violet purple that has this really dazzling red orange shimmer in it, as well as blue reflective glitters. Now the reason I'm including this one, even though it is a newer shade to my collection, is because it is what turned me on to reflective particles in my polishes. Prior to trying this one, I was like, no thank you, I don't want any chunky crusty glitters in my polishes. But oh my gosh, this one really changed my mind to it, and now I am more open to trying reflective glitters in general, and I feel like only a beautiful purple polish like this could be the one to turn me on to that. Speaking of purples with orange shimmers, this next one I'll be sharing is probably one of the most famous ones in that category. It is Sassy Sauce Polish Glampire. I was able to snag this one in Polish Pickups Rewind in 2023, and oh my goodness, I'm so glad I did. If I'm being honest, I originally purchased this one because of all the hype surrounding it from when it first released. I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up. This rewind was one of the first ones I participated in as well, and so many people were talking about it, and I was like, honestly, I'm not that impressed, but I'll buy it. And then if I remember correctly, it took me a few months to even put it on, even after receiving it in the mail. But oh my goodness, once I did, I was like, why did I not wear this sooner? I am absolutely in love. This was like the first really indie kind of polish, if you know what I mean. I mean, it is a violet jelly filled with this really intense red, copper, yellow shifting shimmer, and it has red to black multi-chrome flakes in it as well, plus red glitter flakes. So it just has so many different things all happening in one polish, and you would think it would kind of look a little crazy on the nail, but honestly it is absolutely beautiful on the nail, and I love it. It is a classic Halloween shade, and I can't wait to wear it every year. Also, if this polish looks familiar to you, is because due to the success of this polish, and of course if you're not familiar with Polish Pickup, it is a limited edition kind of situation. So this brand, Sassy Sauce Polish, ended up creating a more simple version of this shade with just the violet jelly base and the red shimmer in it, and that one blew up on its own as well. So that's how you know how good this shade is because even when the spin-off does better than the original. And of course, if you don't know, the spin-off is Sassy Sauce Polish Cock-a-Doodle Doo, which I believe is still available for purchase on their website. This next shade is technically not even a purple, but the purple shimmer in it is so strong that I put it with all my other purples, and this is Bee's Knees Lacquer Belladonna Berries. This was, I believe, my first time trying BKL, and it was through Polish Pickup as well, and I knew immediately I had to have this polish. It was actually the polish that made me purchase from Polish Pickup in the first place because I knew I could not have this in my collection. Now in general, probably not a good strategy to have, but this one was worth it. It paid off in the end because it became one of my favorite polishes in my collection, period, the second that I tried it on after it had come in the mail. This one technically has a deep turquoise jelly with a purple to magenta to gold to green shifting shimmer, And if you know me, purple and green are like my two favorite colors, so to have them combined into one beautiful shimmer, especially from BKL, if you know, their shimmers are amazing. Oh my goodness, I just could not handle it, and I'm so glad I have this in my collection, and it is one of my favorite polishes. I do sometimes see this come up in D-stashes, so if you are interested in it, definitely check out some of those D-stash pages because you could snatch it up for yourself. So now, of course, I have to talk about another one of my favorite BKL shades. This is Bee's Knees Lacquer Hot Dog. She's described as a deep smoky purple with a matte purple to red shimmer. Honestly, if you ask me, I have no idea what a matte shimmer is, but I know that it is the best thing in the world because, oh my goodness, it just looks so silky smooth. It reminds me of like a very silky, satiny, like deep, rich purple dress. I don't know where that comes from, but this is what's in that polish. I was truly gagged since the first time I put this one on, and I was so sad as well because after I put it on, I had to go rock climbing right after, so I immediately ruined the mani and had to like slap a holographic topper on top to blur out all the scratches. But honestly, I still love this polish even with all the scratches on it. It was just that stunning. I don't really know if BKL is doing any more effects like this with the matte shimmer, but I would pick up another one because oh my goodness, it is stunning. Now this next one is the last Polish Pickups exclusive shade that I will be sharing, and it is a goodie. This is Polish Salvador Dolly. It was from a September 2023 theme, and it is described technically as a periwinkle with copper green gold shifting pigment. I had never seen a polish like this before. You definitely can find similar ones if you look hard enough, so it's not super unique. However, that was the first one that I had seen one like this, and the theme of course was like arts, and they had the dreamscapes, and it was just absolutely stunning. I didn't even realize someone was called a periwinkle because to me it's very obviously just like a lavender shade, but nonetheless I feel like it's a rainbow in the bottle. I mean, even just holding this bottle around, you can see how much it shifts. It has that beautiful pink to green with like the copper and the yellow showing through as well. I mean, I love her for that. Speaking of another shade that is technically not really a purple, but she's definitely a purple if you ask me, this is Cirque Colors Highline. It is described as a light blue lavender cream polish, but to me it is kind of just straight up lavender. I mean, it does lean a little bit more blue, but to call her a light blue, I mean, I don't know. I thought lavenders just leaned blue in general. I could be wrong. Unfortunately, it seems like Cirque Colors recently discontinued almost all of their creams. I believe only 8 of them remain now as of the recording of this video, and Highline is not one of them, unfortunately. However, a very similar one that leans a little bit more pink is Affiori, and that one is still available for purchase if you are interested. I really like Cirque's creams in general. Just make sure they have the wide brush, which I believe all of them do at this point. She has a really good formula, and it just looks really nice on my skin tone for whatever reason. But like I said, if you have maybe a warmer skin tone, they have one that leans a little bit more pink. The last shade I'll be sharing today is actually another Cirque Colors polish. This one is Jammin' Out, which is described as a vivid grape shimmer graphic polish, which is Cirque Colors like trademarked special effects. It's basically just has a really bright aurora shimmer in it and a ton of scattered holographic glitter. They've been really expanding this formula of theirs recently, which of course, I mean, if you're gonna go through all the trouble of trademarking it, you better have like a ton of them in your collection. But I really like them. Funnily enough, I'm actually wearing a skittle of all the Cirque shimmer graphic shades that I own with Jammin' Out on my pinky right here. In case you're wondering what I'm wearing, it's a bunch of my Cirque shimmer graphic shades because it is probably my favorite formula from them. But of course, you can find a lot of different brands that have just shimmer and holographic combinations. It's not really that unique. I know Isle NP has a bunch of them that are like the fairy shimmers, like Fairy Dust, Flower Child, and Bluebell, and they have a few more in those range. And even Holo Taco has some shimmer holographic ones, like earlier I mentioned Tanzanite Away. But anyway, so you can find this kind of shimmer effect anywhere, but I really do like Cirque's ones just because the jelly really builds up very nicely. As you know, Cirque Colors is kind of famous for their jellies. But in general, this one I like because it does remind me of grape. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I love grape flavored things, and it's just so juicy and perfect for the summer and the spring, and it's just a chef's kiss. Alright, now if you can believe it, we have officially gone through all of my top favorite purples. I always try to limit these because as you guys know, I don't try to pick a ton. I mean, I have way more purples than this, but these are just my favorites, which were essentially old goodies or love at first sight kind of shades. However, even with that being said, I think 8 is the most I've ever done in one of these My Dearest videos. So I tried to limit myself, but like I said, I have so many and I can't just not share my favorites with you. I could probably do a part 2 to just my favorite purples because I really do have so many. However, I wanted to curate it and just give you my tippy top favorites. So I hope you guys appreciate me showing the restraint and not bombarding you guys with like 20 different shades right now, because I could definitely do that. But alas, I like to keep it concise over here. But anyway, let me guys know if you have any of these, what you think of them. Maybe one of these shades you actually really do not like. So let me know what your favorite purples are down below. Subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.